Perhaps you remember me. That's right. It's Dead Man. The world, as you know, is in awful shape. And it's all because of the Death Stranding. The dead started to find their way into our midst, crossing over from the other side. We call these entities BTs, Beached Things. When they came into contact with the living, the result was instant annihilation. A void out, leaving nothing but a massive crater in its wake. But that was only the beginning. Strange rain fell from the sky, rapidly aging everything it touched. A phenomenon we came to know as timefall. Structures would rust and collapse, and people grew old in an instant. The world transformed into something completely unrecognizable. Those who survived these changes came to fear both timefall and BTs alike. They withdrew into the remaining cities, which in turn closed their doors to outsiders. People ceased to travel and stopped meeting in person. They grew distant from one another and became further isolated. The social, cultural, and political bonds between humans began to crumble. The Death Stranding was hastening humanity's extinction. Seeing this, Bridget Strand, the last president of the United States of America, founded Bridges, an organization committed to making America whole again and providing a future for all humankind. However, Bridget died before she could realize this ambition. It was you, Sam, who took up her cause and resolved to see it through. Sam, the humble porter, who also possessed the unique powers of a repatriate, the one and only person who could save humanity. So with Bridges' Cupid in hand, and accompanied by the bridge baby Lou, you embarked on a journey across North America. Of course, you had struggles of your own, often phasmophobia, or the fear of being touched. The despair of having lost everything was just too much. But despite it all, you strive to bring people together. By extending the chiral network across the length and breadth of the continent, you would enable the rebirth of the United States as the United Cities of America. You were also to rescue Bridget's daughter, Amelie, who had been taken captive by terrorists. These were the vital missions you were entrusted with, Sam. We, your friends at Bridges, did everything we could to support your efforts. There was our director, Di Hardman, a close associate of Bridget, who was dedicated to fulfilling her final wishes. His commitment to American Reconstructionism was absolute, and for that he was named the first president of the UCA. And of course, Sam, the incomparable Dead Man, yours truly. I'd like to think we became the best of friends. As you may recall, I was born from an artificial womb, and over the course of my life was the recipient of numerous organ transplants. I've always got on with the dead. I used to be a coroner. Anyway, I pushed myself physically and mentally to help you and your BB, Lou. Mama and Lochna were twin sisters, as you may remember. Skilled scientists who developed the Cupid, which was essential for chiral network expansion. A personal tragedy caused the two of them to grow apart. But they've since reconciled, with both their souls residing in the same body. Ah, Hartman. Every 21 minutes his soul departs his physical form, and for 3 minutes his body is clinically dead. During this temporary death, his soul is sent to the beach. That's why he knows more about the beach and the Death Stranding than anyone else. His knowledge proved indispensable in the execution of your mission, Sam. Fragile, leader of the private delivery outfit Fragile Express. Exposure to timefall caused her entire body from the neck down to age significantly. It was the mark of a terrible betrayal. Higgs, a former comrade, used timefall as an instrument of torture, you see. To no surprise, Fragile was hell-bent on getting revenge. But after meeting you, Sam, she had a change of heart. As your friends, we would stop at nothing to see you succeed. But ultimately, crossing the continent was something you had to do on your own, with only Lou for company, and with no end to the forces that stood in opposition. Deadly BTs, unforgiving terrain and unpredictable weather, ruthless terrorists. The list goes on. Without a doubt, your greatest enemy was Higgs. Convinced that humanity deserved to go extinct, he kidnapped Amelie and tried to torment you and countless others. But neither he nor anything else could stop you from achieving your goal. The chiral network was finally completed. The bridge to the future was built, but your ordeal was not yet over. You had to learn the real nature of the Death Stranding, a secret that Amelie had kept hidden from us all this time, and a terrible truth you had to face. But you accepted this final revelation, Sam, and did what had to be done. America rose from the ashes as the UCA, and as the people celebrated your accomplishments, you carried out one final mission in secret, to save your BB, to save Lou. You removed the child from the pod that was their prison and began a new life together. And so it was that the two of you vanished without so much as a trace.